Hey, what's up, people? I got another classic for y'all. Spyderco pm2 and S110V. In the good old Blurple scales. You really can't beat the pm2 as a EDC knife. It's perfect in every way. It's so popular for a reason. It fits the hand beautifully. That 50/50 choil is awesome. Like, this knife was perfect ergonomics. That's one of the reasons why it's so popular for so long. If you don't own a pm2, you really should grab one, or at least go check one out, because that's a hell of a pocket knife. And S110V, while for some, it can be a pain in the ass to sharpen, but you know, if you know what you're doing, it's no problem to sharpen. It's just a little finicky, but absolutely incredible edge retention out of that stuff. It's kind of crazy how long S110V will cut. You really just don't dull it. It'll reach a certain point and it'll just kind of stay there. It really won't. It's hard to get this steel to where it won't slice paper. To get it that dull, you would really have to cause a lot of edge damage, because it won't. The way an edge dulls, it won't reach a point to where it won't slice paper just out of normal dulling. And that's one thing that's really impressive about it. It just keeps cutting. Like, plus it's a steel that takes an extremely aggressive edge. You definitely don't polish this stuff. If you polish it, you'll hate it. But if you leave it rather coarse, like say 600 grit or less, it's super aggressive, lots of tooth, and it maintains that tooth for a very, very long time. And I don't know about you, but I like my knives to really bite when they cut. I don't want to have a slick, sharp knife. I don't like that. It's dangerous. I want the knife to grab, you know, the edge to grab and then slide and cut, rather than slip and cut. But so if you like aggressive edges, S110V is a badass steel. Contrary to popular belief, it is definitely not a chippy steel. It doesn't like lateral loads. If you cut and twist, yeah, you will chip it, because there's an incredibly high volume of carbides in this stuff, and yeah, it doesn't do too well with lateral, like twisting type forces. So that's a no-no. Kind of think of it, I don't want to say a stainless Maximate, but just like Maximate doesn't like twisting forces, S110V doesn't like twisting forces. Yeah, you definitely don't want to twist with this stuff, but as long as, you know, if you need a steel to slice S110V, it just won't go dull. You don't want to pry with it neither. That's another no-no. But if you just need something that slices and will continue to slice for an incredibly long amount of time without going dull, that's also highly stainless, S110V is awesome. If you think you're going to go baton wood, you definitely don't want to use S110V for that. It's also a steel that you definitely don't want to do anything, or you don't want to try to sharpen it on anything except for diamond or CBN. No, like aluminum oxide or chromium oxide or silicone carbide for that matter. This is diamond or CBN only if you want it to perform well, and if you don't want to be on the stones for hours. It's incredibly abrasion resistant, like unbelievably abrasion resistant, because of how high the carbide volume is. And this steel is also, a lot of people think, oh, it's a hard steel. It's not. It's not run. I haven't tested this, but I'm assuming they're probably around 61, 62 Rockwell. So they're not super duper hard. This steel is all about the carbides. That's what keeps the edge. It's tremendous carbide volume is what keeps this knife sharp for so long. But that's also part of the, why it's not very tough. Even though, as far as just like normal cutting, it's plenty tough. It's just the lateral and twisting forces that's the problem. If you do have S110V, and don't be scared to sharpen it. It's just like any other steel to sharpen. It's just going to take you longer. Because it's so abrasion resistant, and you definitely want diamond or CBN, unless you don't mind sitting on a sharpening stone for hours and hours. Sorry about the train in the background, guys. But this really is a classic EDC knife, and one that probably should be in everybody's collection, at least the pm2 model. The steel, I would only really suggest this for somebody who does like a lot of push cutting, like on cardboards, plastic, stuff like that. It's definitely not a steel that you want to use for hacking through staples or anything like that. The steel will not do well in that environment. But if you need a long edge retention steel that's very stainless, S110V is pretty awesome, so long as it's for slicing and push cutting only, and not chopping through hard shit. Check one out. I think you'll like it. It's the pm2. I know you'll like it, actually. Yeah, and then give S110V a shot. It's a cool steel.